Hi, I'm Gough. I'm a freelance production manager and technician. I've recently worked with Outdoors Rimini Protocol show, but I've also been working with a project called the Freedom Theatre, which is set up in a refugee camp in the occupied Palestinian territories. The Freedom Theatre was set up to help youth from a camp in many ways, like through drama therapy, giving them a platform to express their anxieties, their worries, express what they want to say out to the world. And it's also kind of set up to continue like revolution, to help free people. It's kind of like try and start the third intifada, but instead of the third intifada being with guns and rocks like the previous intifadas that were beaten, make a third intifada through culture, through art, like resistance through art and revolution. It's tough. Unemployment is massive. There's not many activities for people to do in refugee camps, especially places like Jenin refugee camp, which saw some of the heaviest fighting of the Second Intifada. Things like post-traumatic stress are massive, inherent in especially the youth. Because obviously they grew up in a very crazy and difficult time. And when you're that young as well, you're very impressionable and obviously very affected by what happens. So post-traumatic stress is huge. So that then creates a lot of aggression, a lot of violence. They want to talk about the occupation. They want to talk about women's rights. Girls want to talk about not being allowed to do things or not being allowed to interact with men in theatre. They want to talk about why they're angry, what happens in their lives. They want to talk about their brothers, their fathers, their mothers, their family members being killed. One of the boys in the Freedom Theatre, his sister was killed during the Second Intifada because he was a resistance fighter, and the Israeli army came for him, and his sister ran out to see if he was in the house, and they shot him, they killed him. Those kind of things they want to talk about. Fragments of Palestine, which was a devised piece, where we basically created a devised piece, and it was a physical theatre piece, from the stories of the youth, and also, again, from their anxieties and the things that they want to say about occupation, about their society, in general. And then we've kind of moulded that into I think it's about 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long physical performance piece that we then toured Germany and Austria with. Did about 30 shows in 40 days and sold out nearly every one, and created more awareness and a buzz around the Freedom Theatre. There is minorities that really don't like what the Freedom Theatre does or what the Freedom Theatre stands for, from like a conservative Islam point of view. They don't like boys and girls mixing. They don't like the idea of theatre anyway. So we've had the Freedom Theatre. They've tried to burn it down twice. Our friend and the director of Freedom Theatre, Juliana, was murdered 2 weeks ago. We don't know by who or for what reason, so it might not be anything to do with the consent of Islam. It might be for some other factor. It might be because of Freedom Theatre is, being effective in talking out against occupation. Could be many reasons why he was murdered, but that's one of the things that Freedom Theatre has faced: death threats, general aggression towards people who work there.